Hey everyone, how's it going? Just getting set up here. Let me get over here. Here we go. All right, get this set up. How's everyone out there doing today? Hopefully we get some good questions. I already got one through the email. Now, in the description, I did add a link to if you wanted to come on here live. We can. I'm going to post it in here in the chat. If you want to come on here on the video. How's it going, Dan? So I just posted a link in the chat. If you want to come on here on video, ask your question or ask it in the chat, by all means, let me know. I will add it in here for anybody who is watching on YouTube. All right. So anybody watching over on YouTube, go ahead and I just posted a link if you want to come over here. It is through StreamYard. Now we do have a, this is our last live of the year, okay? And we are going to, I'm skipping next week because of between Christmas and New Year's. I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to try to do one the day on the 2nd, but it may not be until the next week. So, but I will definitely try to make it happen the first one of the year. So with that being said, anybody who does have any questions, please do ask them in the chat, and we can kind of go from there. Now, last week we were comping properties live here. If you haven't seen that, go back and check out my YouTube channel at Randy Steadwell on YouTube. That's how you spell my name right over here. Okay, and you can see how I did my comping live and went that way. So again, I'm going to post we got a few more people coming in. If you want to come on live, just click on the link in the chat. And we can come on over here and I will answer any questions you guys have. So now with that being said, you know, I did get one through an email that they wanted to ask me my opinion on a property that is currently in our Facebook group. Okay, and if you want, if that person wants to come on, I'll go through the process that I think it will be, you know, how I would comp it and kind of go from there. So I did look at it a little bit today. So let's kind of dive into it a little bit. So what I'll do here, first off, is I'm going to pull it up through the email, and I'm going to bring that over here, and I'm going to share my screen. All right, so the video that they did want me, or the property that they wanted me to comp, and was this post right here. So looks like a great post here. As I was reading through it, it says 2-bedroom, 1-bath on each one of them. I'm assuming, and I'm going through this whole thing assuming that you're purchasing both sides. Okay, if you are, then you have to kind of do the numbers that way. All right, a lot of investors don't really like buying half of a duplex as an investment. If you're going to live in it, fine, but you want control of the property. So let's look at some of these photos that they took, and we can kind of go from there. Now, it's Kaiser. How you doing, Kaiser?
Hi.
Hi. Now, did I pronounce your name wrong, or how do you pronounce your name?
Yes, this is Kausar.
Kaiser. Okay. So awesome. So what we can do is, Kaiser is the one who sent me the email about this property. So what specific questions do you have on this? Kaiser, what specific questions do you have on this property?
This is the first time I'll be buying an investment property.
Okay.
I had my own house, which I sold it this year,
Okay.
and I'm planning to use that money to buy other houses. So this is my first
Okay.
property. I don't know what I should be doing. Like, is this a good idea to duplex or not? You
Okay.
know,
Well, you sold
and
your
the area
personal
also, I'm not
property.
sure whether I should be buying there or not.
Okay. That's no problem. So let me ask you before we kind of go into this, since you're here, I'm gonna remove this. Let me ask you, what are your goals first off? So before we kind of dive into whether it's a good property to buy or not, it really determines on the person who's buying it and what their goals are. Okay. So do you want to own a bunch of rental properties? Do you want to, what are your goals in doing this? Can you hear me okay?
My goal is to buy few properties and
Okay. All
rent
right.
it out.
And rent them out. All right. So the good thing is that this is a duplex.
Yeah.
So you're going to have, as long as what's being sold is both sides. Okay. From the listing, that's what it sounds like. Okay. It sounds like both sides are being sold. I have seen it where they have separated them out like a condo. Okay. So in that aspect, you don't want to do that. So, but my question to you is what kind of capabilities do you have to do any type of renovations? Is there a delay here? Can you hear me okay?
I had been doing remodeling projects for the other people. I can myself
Okay.
do a lot of things, some electrical, some plumbing, flooring. I can do it myself also. So I'm not 100% dependent on the other people who will come and fix the houses.
Okay.
And I have few people with me who can work with me.
Hmm. Okay. That's awesome.
So,
So yeah,
but
I
I'm
know.
not
I
planning
got,
to buy some houses we need to have. Some little TLC or something here and there. It's good. I can do
okay.
it.
Okay. So now that I know a little bit about your background, you have the ability to at least get contractors and vet them, and you've done some renovations prior. That's a little bit better. The thing is that
Yes.
um, yeah. So with that being said, um, you want to be in Detroit, is that right? Inside Detroit?
Yes, I live in Sterling Heights, so it is close to my place, and that is which I can afford it right now.
Okay, awesome. So, well, it's in your budget. So we'll kind of go through
Hmm.
some of these. And so I'm looking at some of the pictures. I mean, the street looks okay. When you go to some of the interior pictures, the biggest thing you want to look at when you go there, okay? So make sure
Mm-hmm.
you write this down. I'm giving you homework here, okay? You want to look for any type
Okay.
of foundation issues, okay? So
Okay.
you want to make sure that there's no cracks, or if there is just cracks, it's very superficial. If you see
Okay.
horizontal cracks, if you see horizontal
Mm-hmm.
cracks, like just going from one side to the other, look at the
Mm-hmm.
wall. And if you see the
Mm-hmm.
wall bowing like this, you got a huge foundation issue. Okay. So if you
Okay.
see
Mm-hmm.
the wall not completely straight and then you see it bowing, you got a
Mm-hmm.
foundation issue. All right.
Yeah.
Um, it's not to say that everything can be fixed for a right price, but it's going to be more expensive doing that. I would not recommend you doing that on your first try. Um,
Okay.
so are these already rented?
Yes, they are rented. One is
Okay.
rented for 450 and the other one is for 550, which I don't like it. Like
Right.
if I'm thinking about putting like 30,000 for each, like 60,000, this is a person wholesaler, I guess. He's selling these two together for
Yep.
60,000. And
Yep.
for 60,000, I don't think it is a good amount, like 450 getting on 30,000, or like
So
$1,000 is
it,
not a good figure for me.
yeah, so it depends on, so again, you're going to look at, so the market rents over there for this type. If you get a nice Section 8 tenant, you can probably get 850 to 900. You can possibly get up to 1,000. It just depends. Okay. So this here, I was
Uh-huh.
looking at this. I was looking at this here. It's an older furnace. So you have to plan on upgrading the
Mm-hmm.
furnace a little bit later on. Okay. If the furnace, make sure to see if they
Okay.
have two separate furnaces. Okay. See if they have two separate
Mm-hmm.
furnaces so that they're controlled separately, as well as it looked like there was two separate hot water tanks and two meters and everything separated. Okay. One thing you want to
Okay.
ask for as well is you want to ask for rent rolls. Okay. And the reason why you do that is you want to make sure that those tenants are currently up to date, as well as they've been paying on time every month. Okay.
So can I do
So
that I can move them and get other tenants without any problem?
it depends on their lease. You have to read over
Okay.
their lease.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So if their lease says that if their lease says that you with a 30-day notice, great. But you have to understand that if you get rid of those tenants, some tenants can be a pain in the butt and not want to move out. Now you have to go through an eviction process, and now you're not going to get anything for quite a few months, you know. So keep that in mind. Okay. The fact that it's getting really low rent, it's very, very rough. I would definitely ask for a discount for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in his post, he says, oh, it's 13%, as it currently stands. Now, do you know if they're Section 8 tenants or are they just regular
I don't think
tenants?
so. I know I didn't ask, but I think they're not Section 8 tenants because Section 8 they don't pay 450 and 550 rent.
No, they don't. So,
Yeah.
so we're looking at this. Okay. So it looks like there's two separate furnaces, and then the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom's outdated. So you're gonna need to. uh,
Yeah.
I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely spruce up the outside. Okay, and just make sure that there's no
Yeah.
leaks in the windows. It looks like there's wood windows. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go, I would definitely always recommend you get your city certification. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your rental certification, because if you do Section 8, you're going to have to get it certified. You're going to have to get it city certified and everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So look at the windows. If the windows are all wood, then you're going to have to look at possibly encapsulating the windows because of the lead paint. Okay. Things of that
Yeah.
nature. I would estimate, if you're just looking to get it up and going, I would budget anywhere from 10 to 15,000. Okay.
Okay.
You could probably only do 5. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But look at everything you have to do first. I like to be a little bit more conservative on my numbers. I'd rather over budget and plan for the worst than, but keep in mind, I know that one
Yeah.
furnace, it looks really old, and I don't know how long that's gonna be. So you want to plan on that. All right. So keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now the kitchen.
Okay.
This is a very old kitchen. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know
Yeah.
what this whole thing is going on here. I would definitely look at. I mean, to be honest, you can
Yes.
easily spruce this up, put new countertops, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
even keep the same thing, keep the same. Yeah, honestly, if it was mine, if you end up getting rid of the tenant, completely gut that kitchen and get a new kitchen.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
So, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you have to go like high end or anything like that. Get cheap brand,
Mm-hmm.
anything cheap that you can get now is still more affordable. But it's a small footprint. It's a small area. But yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
wallpaper. It looks like over the cabinets. It to me, I mean, I would have
Yeah.
said, oh, just refresh the cabinets and get a new countertop. But you added this
Mm-hmm.
wallpaper on the top cabinets, and it's not very good. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, then
Mm-hmm.
the backside here, it looks like they painted one time. This always happens. You see the brick covering here.
Yeah.
So it's basically just from rain. That's normal. Okay.
Okay.
And let's see here. Um, those look like it's possibly wood windows. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but again, it's not a bad block. It's not a bad area. Um,
Okay.
so do the let's do the address here, and
Mm-hmm.
so we're pulling this up here. This is the street view here. It looks like Redfin has the estimate going at 56,000. In Detroit, I don't. That you can use that a little bit, but you really got to do your own research on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were doing
Yeah.
before, we look in here. This is Evergreen and Lasher, 7 and 8 mile. So what I'm going to do is go to maps.com, Google Maps, Evergreen, Lasher. There we go. So I'm going to look in this area. And so basically, this is the area that I want to stick to for my comping. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
we see where ours is. It's going to be on the corner of Pearson and Pembroke. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to duplicate this tab, and we're going to go back here. And 8 Mile, Wyoming. This is Evergreen. Here we go. All right, so I have my filter set at the last 3 months. Okay, so you can see the issue we have is that there's not a lot of, I was looking at this earlier today, there's not a lot of duplexes that have been sold in this area. So we see a lot of single families, but then go back 6 months. And so if we look here, I think it was this one. I can't remember. Full market brick hot, having 2-bedroom. Okay.
This is 3-bedroom.
Yeah. So I was looking for this one. This is the one I was looking for. One for 45. All right. So this one here, it's a, remember what I said, half of duplexes. Okay. It says rare
Yes.
half a duplex located in Northwest Detroit, blah, blah, blah. So this property was half of a duplex. It had a new central air unit, windows, let's see, stone place. It's very similar to your property, okay? Where it's brick on the bottom and a little bit of siding up top.
I saw that, but I think it's new in this house.
What's that?
I said I also checked this property. In this property, most of the things are new. They already remodeled everything.
Yeah, so it's new glazed tubs, new toilet, new vanity, new furnace. Yeah, so this is your after repair value, in my opinion, would be 45 each side. Okay. So that brings you to roughly 90 grand for an after repair value. Now keep in mind that when did this sold 4 months ago. All right. Interest rates have gone up since then. Okay. So you got to give a slight discount to that. And so if I do a say 95K times, we'll do 0.85. So you're looking at an after repair value, because I do a 15% discount, okay, on my ARV. Okay, so your ARV, I think, would be roughly a little bit, right around 80 to 81,000. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That would be an after repair value.
Okay.
So, if you were to buy this, keep in mind that that's if you were flipping it. Okay. So, and after repair value, we'll go the high end and we'll say 81,000. Okay. We're going to times that by 70%. You're looking at $56,700. Okay. And then you still got to minus your repairs. Now, the difference with a buy and hold is now you want to look at your ROI, your return on investment. Okay. So according to him, without raising the rents, you're at 13%. Okay. I don't know how he came with those numbers, but you said they were, what was the rents right now? 475, and the second is paying 600. Okay.
Yeah.
475 plus 600. Okay. That's 1075. We're going to times that by 12. You're getting 12,900 a month or a year, sorry. Then you're going to subtract, we'll call it 1,500 for the taxes. Okay. And then we'll call it another 1,200 for the insurance. Okay. So now, so now you're looking at 1020 or 10,200. Now we're going to divide that by what you put into it. So say you do 60,000. I'm just using 60,000 as the round numbers. Say that you're going to put about we'll go 10,000. Okay. So say you're going to put 10,000 into it.
Okay.
All right. We're going to divide that by, I'm going to say 73,000 because you're going to count on $3,000 of closing costs. Okay.
Okay.
And you're looking at a 13.9% of ROI, which is okay. Now, if you were to get those under contract and say you're paying that price and you get the tenants out and you get them to pay $800 a month. Okay.
Okay.
Just to be conservative. All right. 800 times 2. All right. That's 1,600 times 12. All right. That's 19,200. Now we're going to minus we said 1,500 for taxes. Okay. And then we're going to minus, sorry, hold on. Minus 1,200. All right. Now you're at 16,500. Okay. And then we're going to divide it by that same 73,000. Okay. And if you were to raise the rents, then you'd be at 22.6%. Okay. So in my opinion, it's an okay deal. Okay. You have to really see what your construction costs will be and look at their lease. All right. To see how long, whether they're willing, because if they're willing just to get bump up the rent to $800 a month, then great. The one paying $600 they may be able to do it, but it depends on their situation. All right. The one for $475, I highly doubt it. Okay. If you want to work something out with them, you say, hey, we can do in increments. And then by the end of the year, you're at the higher end of rent. So it doesn't hit all at once. But keep in mind, I would still give them an out. I say at any point in any month, you just give me a 30-day notice and you're good to go if you want to move out. Okay.
How about if we give the notice to the tenant and they still don't leave the house?
Then you have to go through the eviction process. Okay.
And how is the eviction process?
You have to go through the courts.
Easy?
Okay. Not really. Okay. It's not always easy. I would definitely recommend talking to somebody who's been through it in quite a bit. I haven't, but I know people who have. Okay. So go into it knowing what strategy you want to do, or at least have multiple strategies. Okay. So if you keep the tenants and make sure everything works properly and save your money for capital expenditures, things like that. Now, one thing that I did not put in there is you want to put aside a 10% of the rents for management fees, and you want to put aside roughly 10% for capital expenditures. The capital expenditures would be like if a furnace went out, okay, if a roof is bad, things like that. So look at you got to look at the roof on this. Those are big ticket items. You got to look at the furnace, and you got to see, like, it looked like the porch had some concrete, but to be honest, that's not the worst of your problems on that. So really look at everything with a fine-tooth comb, and I think it could be a good deal if you get it for a little bit cheaper, and it depends on the type of it depends on the type of renters that are there. How long are the leases? Are they month to month? Are they willing to negotiate? Do they have a place to go? You know, things like that.
Okay.
Okay. Does that answer any questions that you have?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm only worried about now this eviction thing, that if they don't live, then what?
Everybody is, but I'm going to tell you, that's you build, if you go through an eviction, you have to build in at least 6 months of not getting rent. 6 months to, I would say, to a year. If it happens sooner, great, no problem. Okay. It was a lot worse during COVID. Okay, you couldn't get rid of anybody during COVID. All right. Now they've gotten better. You can at least get dates. You just, it's not as fast. That's all.
Is it possible that when you buy them, that evicted before, tenant should be gone before I buy this house? Can I do that? If it is on month to month?
You can ask. You can ask, but not really.
Yeah.
So usually what happens is if they get rid of the tenant, a property becomes more valuable when it's vacant. Okay. It's actually less valuable when you have a tenant in there that you personally haven't vetted. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's where I would be asking for the discount a little bit, but you know, I've seen this guy post deals before. His number doesn't seem off for the area. It's very close to 8 Mile. That area it's okay, but I think it still needs to be a little bit cheaper because of the lower rents. You know, if this was 2 vacant properties, I would see this going for 55 to 60 grand all day long. If they were 2 vacant, if they were vacant. So, but yeah. So that's kind of, you know, that's the gist of that one. You know, do you have any more questions about it?
No, I will give the chance to the other people to talk.
No problem. All right, guys. Well, you have a great one.
Okay, thank you so much.
Keep answering. No problem. You have a great day. Bye. All right. So, Jeffrey from YouTube. Okay. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, go over to YouTube and subscribe. It's at Randy Steadwell. All right. Hit the subscribe. We're trying to get to 100. Trying to get to 100 subs. I want to hit 100 subs before the end of the year, please. So we're at 89 so far. So I just need 11 more. I'm just starting. So he says I'm just starting, but I'm worried about the rising interest rates may make wholesaling more risky. So so I will say this, that the rising interest rates, it helps us a little bit with wholesaling because we don't actually buy the property. But it does become harder to sell the deal, so you have to make sure you get them at the right price. That's the difference, is you have to be constantly pivoting, okay, with the interest rates. That's why when I was just talking about this deal, I discount my ARV by 15% because of the interest rates. Because say if I sell it to a flipper is actually, if they're going to take time, anywhere from 3 to 4 months before it goes back on the market. The interest rates may go up, and because of that, the ARV now comes down. Okay, so you have to be conservative on your numbers. If you are conservative on your numbers and get it locked up for the right price, then you're good. Keep that in mind. You have to also articulate that to the seller. Okay, if you articulate that to the seller, then and let them know, everybody knows the interest rates are coming down, but some sellers still think this is a seller's market and they can get whatever they want. Don't get deals locked up for more than you can sell it for. Or if you do, let them know, hey, I'm not going to be taking this down. I'm going to look for a buyer for you. And I've done that with people. So keep that in mind. Now, if anybody else has any questions, by all means, put it in the chat. I'm happy to, answer any questions. If you want to come on video and ask questions, I'm putting the StreamYard link in the chat as well. So on both ends here. And Chiquan, you said awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. And then let's see. Jeffrey, you said that's my concern that it works on the back end of the spread. No, I completely understand. You as a wholesaler have to do your numbers. That's the biggest thing. You have to think. Now you just pivot. Okay. And a lot of times, if they're not selling, get your feedback from your buyers. If you get your feedback from your buyers, then now you know what to go back to the seller at. A lot of times, if I go back for a price reduction, what I try to do is try to get feedback. Mike, I appreciate it. Thank you for the subscribe, man. Appreciate it, man. What I try to do, get from my buyers and say, hey, I need to be down here, and wherever I tell them, I need to make sure that I have a buyer at that, and then we can quickly close. Okay. So what I try to do is I talk to my buyers. I say, what would you be at? What price makes this work for you? Things of that nature. Okay. And that way now I can go back to my seller and say, hey, I need to be here. I built my fee into it. Okay. And, this is kind of where this is the feedback that I'm getting. This is the reasons why, and so on and so forth. If we can make a deal, great. If we can't, say, hey, we'll be happy to release this and kind of go from there. Or I can continue to try to find a buyer for you. But this is still where we need to be. Okay. And kind of go from there. So that's my advice. And I would definitely, look at doing that. If I'm working on an Excel spreadsheet, or I'm working on some sort of spreadsheet so that you can easily populate numbers. But keep in mind, the only person that can make, I'm not going to put an ARV in there for you. You got to put that ARV in there, and you're going to have to discount that ARV because of that. When you're dealing with Detroit and when you're dealing with other areas, Detroit is very hard to comp. So by all means, look at my last week's video and even some of this beginning video. Like I just showed you how to comp it. Okay. Again, because of those interest rates, you have to discount the ARV. All right. And kind of go from there. If you find somebody who does pay the higher price, great. That's awesome. But it doesn't, a seasoned investor is not going to do that. All right. So anybody, who's out there, go ahead and ask your questions in the chat, and we'd be happy to answer them, or come on video. Happy to work with you. And so it looks like we have a few people on from Facebook and a few people on from YouTube. So I really appreciate you guys coming from YouTube and sharing it. Actually watching me on YouTube. I really appreciate the algorithm helps us. So awesome. So Shaniquan, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. Thank you for the subscribe. I appreciate it. So really do. And this is from Cody Nowicki. Sorry, Cody Nowicki. Thanks for doing these lives and answering the questions. With having a full-time gig myself, how would you start integrating wholesaling into a day-to-day routine, and how did that look when you first got started? Awesome question. Really awesome question on that, Cody. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a little slow, but when I look at things, I try to go full out. The problem is sometimes some things in the back don't kind of get pushed into the back. Like for instance, giving attention to my wife and things like that, because I like to go full heart in everything. So after I get off work, as soon as I get off work, I come home. I try to unwind, do whatever I can get done within a half hour or whatever. And then I'll hit the phones or I'll do whatever I need to get done for that day. So if I have a virtual assistant cold calling for me, they already have some leads ready for me to go. Great. If I doing cold calling myself, then I hop on and I start cold calling myself. Now, one thing you want to figure out is you want to think about the flow of your leads. Okay. Always think about your processes and your orders first. Okay. Okay, how do I go from this lead, or go from the list? Okay, how do I get the list? What list am I doing? Putting it into a campaign, skip tracing it, putting it into a campaign, putting it into my dialer, cold calling them, then goes in my CRM where it's a potential lead when they say, yes, I'm ready to sell. So that's a big process in between before you even start cold calling. Okay. So you got to think about all that process. If you have to, like sometimes for me, I'm a visual person, write down in a flow chart, okay, on how everything goes and stick to your processes. Okay. You can, as you go, you can edit them. It took me 4 months to get my first deal. Okay. But every time we learn something, I edited the process and we adjusted. We did tests. I would not suggest getting 10,000 leads and just start cold calling. Take smaller lists and test them in different areas. Just going section by section and test different lists to make sure and do your ROI and your KPIs, which is your key performance indicators and things like that. So make sure basically what it comes down to is make sure you're tracking everything. If you're tracking everything, now you can look at what is actually working and what is not working. Okay. So, and so in my advice is you use 2 to 3 hours after work, do that. Okay. Get as much done as you can. You're concentrating, you're focused. Okay. If you have to, if you want to go a little bit longer, great, do a little bit longer, but keep in mind, you got to keep I don't know if you're married, if you're not, kids, things like that. You got to keep all that, still you still got to work on all that type of stuff. So you got to fit it in your schedule wherever you can. And your family has to be on board with everything as well. Let them know, hey, between these times, I'm not available. Okay. Anything outside of this, great. I'll work with you. I'll do whatever we need to get done, or plan ahead and go from there. Okay. It's all about just carving out sections of time, whether it be an hour, whether it be 2 hours, whether it be 3 hours. Start slow, ramp your way up. Okay, it doesn't have to be all at once. All right. So hopefully that helps. And Tracy Belinda asked, Randy, do you have a list of recommended plumbers, electricians, roofers in the Detroit area, a resource list? I unfortunately do not, but one thing I do recommend is post it in the Facebook group, asking for recommendations. Okay. Now, after you do that, and you do vet them, what I mean by vet them is ask to look at some of their work, make sure they're able to pull permits, things like that. I don't know what type of work you need, whether it be electrician, plumbers, things like that, whether they need to pull permits or not. But also, if it's your first time, make sure they're insured and bonded. Okay, that way, if they do something wrong or anything like that, they have insurance. Okay. So with that being said, especially if this is your first time. So I don't know if it is or not, but check their work and look at look at the codes, make sure they're pulling the permits, doing the proper work, things of that nature. That, in my opinion, that is the best way you can do. If they show you work, and I would also go the extra step. If they say, "Oh yeah, I'm insured, I'm bonded," make sure that their company name, their name is listed on the insurance policy, and it's actually there. You should be able to look it up online to see if everything's up to date. Okay. Um, if they're licensed, then you should be able to look online to see if their license is up to date as well. So I unfortunately don't have recommended plumbers, electricians, things like that, or roofers. I do have, so there is one guy on here that is a uh, licensed, or that is a contractor. His name is Dan Jones. I would recommend him in anything that you do. Keep in mind, he's a very busy man. And but if you reach out to him, if he can help you, he does very good work. So, and he does have a lot of people that do work for him as well. So, he did a flip that we will be posting on our YouTube channel. We did an interview with him, and we did a walkthrough through the house. I wholesaled him the house, and so we got to go through that. That will be posted on YouTube, hopefully by the end of the year. So I need to talk with him and make sure, because we did go over some numbers, and I want to make sure that he's okay with that. So, but it was a beautiful house. He does awesome work, and this one actually needed some framing work or foundation work because it was on a crawl space. So, awesome, no problem, Tracy. You said thanks for the info. No problem. Anytime you have any questions, by all means, post it in the group. Metro Detroit Off Market Real Estate Group. We'll be happy to help you. Anybody would be happy to help you. I'll try to help you as much as I can. Another reason I don't really recommend people too much, unless I know they do really good work, is because I don't want you coming back on me saying, "Oh, you recommended this guy," things of that nature. But I know Dan Jones, he does really good work. So he is one of the guys that I would recommend for anybody, looking for any type of work to get done. So, now he's not a roofer though, I will say that, but he does know a good roofer. So, so with that being said, anybody else has any questions? We're happy to. This is our last live of 2022. Going into 2023, we're going to get a lot more deals. I want to know what your goals are for the next year as well. Tell me what your goals are. I want to know. We'll post them here. Be accountable. This is live. This is staying on YouTube, so you will be accountable. You will look back at this next year and see, did we make those goals? So I'm going to say here, my goals for right now, I only do about one deal a month because I do work a full-time job. Okay. And so my goal is to up my average to 2 to 3 deals per month. Now, if I go more, great, awesome. So this was Shaniquan. I said more deals. Me too. But put a number to that. How many deals? How many deals per month? How many deals total? Tell me what you want. All right. Now, let's see. Larry Shepard said 4 more units. Let's go 2023. Most definitely. Now, when you say 4 more units, do you mean duplex? How many doors total? All right. 4 more properties, 4 more doors. Let's get into some multifamily. Also, that's my goal for next year as well. Is to start wholesaling some more multifamily units. That's what I want. Some 10 plus units. That's what I want to do. So, all right. So Kaiser said, person I just had on, I'm planning to buy 10 houses next year. Woo! 10 houses. Awesome. So let's do that. 10 houses. I definitely want to do 10. That'd be awesome. Now, I'm happy to look at any deal. If you want to come on the show, or if I put out any deals, by all means, let me know. We can kind of go from there. Goal is one a month. Shaniqua, you said 1 a month. That's awesome. Let's keep to that goal, and let's keep at it. So I completely understand that. The start of this year, I broke off from my partner and I started my own thing, and I'm doing more JV deals. And by doing JV deals, I'm doing 1 per month. Now I'm starting to get my cold calling ramping back up. And so 2023, we're going to start getting that rolling. So I'm hoping to get more deals. So my goal is 2 to 3 deals per month. If I hit 4 to 5, great, awesome. And Mike Mokhtar, 4 to 5 deals per month. That's awesome. And he's doing this with a full-time job too. So, by all means, if people like me and people like Mike can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not the smartest guy in the world by any means. I just fail a lot. So that's all. The more you fail, the more you learn. Anybody who tells you differently, they don't know what they're talking about. All right. So, also 2023, let's fail some more so we can learn some more, so we can get more deals and get better at it. 100%. So, any more questions out there for anybody planning to do, any more deals, or want me to go over some more comping? If you want me to comp a property right now, post the address in here. I'll comp it for you right here. Okay. And keep in mind, I'm doing it the freeway, Redfin and Zillow. All right. If I have to go, I do have PropStream. If I have to go into PropStream, and I do have Privy if I have to go in there. Mike said absolutely. Mike Mokhtar, absolutely can be done. It takes persistence, and that is one. Consistency is the key. All right. Scott McCullen, you want me to do this address? 36610 Schaefer. All right, no problem. I'll work on that. And 36610 Schaefer Street. Is this in Clinton Township? I'm gonna add this here. So Scott, I already did this on my last one. I already did this one. Was I not clear? So yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so yeah, I remember this one here, and the issue that we have, I don't know I think the ARV, the after repair value for this property, I believe was, and I'll look through it again, and I think it was, we're going to do Clinton Township here. There we go. We got to come down here. So 16 in Gratiot. It gave me to the wrong state. And I'm probably spelling it wrong. All right. Four 48035. Let's do that. Sometimes it weirds out. There we go. There we go. All right. So, hey Terry S, how you doing? If you have any questions, by the way, Terry S, happy to answer them for you. All right. So we're looking at, this is 15 Mile Road. So you got 16 Mile Road over here. And our subject property is, I believe, just want to confirm, right on here, North Schaefer. And I am over here. So our subject property is right here. And so this one is 240. This one, so we're in the last 6 months right now. Okay. So we go the last 3 months. Okay. And not really as a lot sold. But we come back over here. We have to look at the neighborhoods as well. All right. But you see this house right here. This is a 2-story. Ours is a ranch style. If you look at ours, I remember this from last week. And by the way, Scott, if you did look, if it did cut out, by all means, it's on my YouTube channel. You can go back, look at it, and it's all recorded. And you can look at what we've done. But I'm going to go through it today again. All right. It doesn't look like it can be. Looks like it's attached, but it's set back a little bit that I can't verify that. So I'm going to say it's a detached garage. Looks like a 2-car garage. All right. And so the last 3 months we're looking at, let's see here. Okay. So this one is a ranch that's detached and it's sold for $220 on October 21st. This is a decent one. This is 1,218 square feet. Ours is 975, so you can do the math back that way. But if we go back 6 months, now we're going to have to take this in consideration. So for instance, this sold in the same unit 6 months ago, within 6 months. So let's see how 4 months. Okay, sold for 240, and it was move-in ready and meeting occupancy, well maintained. So this was lived in. This was not a flip house. Okay, but it was lived in. It looks like it's fully furnished. Fully furnished basement, 2-car garage, hardwood floors, all appliances included. All right, so what I would do on this one, so you got your 240, you got 160, 161. This sold August 8th. This was probably, it looks like it's a fixer upper. So I think your after repair value. Okay, here is a flip house. Clean, straightforward, next long term. Let's see here. Maintain. Okay, so no, this was lived in as well, but this is 203. I would be in, so I would put an after repair value on your house probably at 200 to be conservative, but you could probably go up to about 210 to 215. Okay. So based on what I'm seeing here. All right. So let's look at this 240 and let's look at the per square foot number. All right. So this sold for 240, 240,000. Divide that by 1100. Okay, so that's 218. So 218, we're going to times that by 975. We're looking at 212. I would discount that a little bit because this sold 4 months ago. Okay, so I'm really honestly thinking like anywhere between 200 and 210 is your after repair value. So I would do if you were to take that, we'll go 210 just to be on the conservative, just to be, we'll take 210. We're going to times that by, out here, we'll do 75%. So you're looking at 157.5 is what you have to get it under contract for if everything's perfect. Now you have to subtract your budget, and for a 975, we're going to times that by, we'll say $40 a square foot. Okay, so that's 39,000. Okay, so 157.5, I believe that's what I said. All right, and now we're going to subtract 39,000. All right, you're looking at 118.5. That's what you have to buy it at, or that's what you have to get it under contract minus your wholesale fee. So if you want to make 10 grand on this, you have to get this at 108. You have to get under contract for 108. So a buyer would be a good buyer, roughly about 119 ish. So does that help, Scott? Let me know if, hopefully that helps you. Go back and look and see if I said the same thing because I don't remember. So I believe I did, but as far as I didn't give you an estimate on rental cost or anything like that. I was just doing a light reno, carpet paint, maybe replacing the kitchen. You're looking at probably about $40 a square foot, and you have 975 square feet. So that's how I came up with the 39,000. Okay, that's a rough estimate. By all means, if you have to go through there, go through it and do it yourself. Do your budget yourself. So that's my opinion on that. Hopefully that helps you out, Scott. You didn't cut out, you know, on that. And Terry, you saying hi all? Hi, how you doing? If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Happy to help you. Doing whatever we can. If you want to come on, anybody wants to come on video, raise your hand or say I do, and I'll put the link in the chat. No problem, and to be able to answer your question. All right. So again, this is our last one for 2022. Our last live for 2022. We're gonna say goodbye to 2022. Now coming into 2023 with all these new fine goals. All right. We learn from all the mistakes that we made. We JV with all the partners we can, and we're going to continue to JV on with more partners. Now, anybody who is from out of state and wants to work in the Metro or wants to invest in the Metro Detroit area, hit me up. I'm happy to work with you. Happy to keep in mind I do have a day job, so I do this part-time, but I treat it like a full-time job. If you want to make it a successful business, that's, in my opinion, that's what you have to do. So, you know, keep in mind that what you want to do, you know, you have to be goal oriented. I absorb as much content as possible. I'll be at my day job working with YouTube going on in my ear. So keep that in mind. Now, I listen to Pace Morby. I listen to Jamil Daniels. I listen to Jamil. I listen to Brent Daniels. A Wholesale Hotline. I listen to a lot of different people who are a lot better than me, and go from there. So now everybody says that if you take your 5 friends, your 5 closest people you hang out with, you average their income, that's going to be what you make. All right. That actually is somewhat true. Now, I'm not saying you get rid of your friends, but surround yourself with people that you can learn from. If you can learn something from somebody and you can provide value to them, don't just try to absorb all the information, try to provide value to them. Hey, how can I add value to you? Can I do some driving for dollars for you? Can I do this? Can I do that? Anything like that. So by all means, I would, definitely recommend anybody out there to do that. Go to meetups, go to RIA meetups, and just look at all of them that are in your area, and get to know the buyers in your area. That way you can see where they're buying and what they're buying. And now you can go after that. Okay. That's the best way versus trying to find any deal anywhere. Try to concentrate on certain areas. Okay. And the more focused you are, the better you'll become in that area. Now you can move to one area and then the next and then the next. Okay. So Larry said, Larry Shepard said, are there any other out-of-state investors that have anyone walk properties for them, or any recommendations? So there are, people, you can hire anybody to walk a property through you. It's whether they know what they're doing. Okay. If I have time and you want me to walk a property for you, by all means, if I'm in the area, or I'm happy to walk a property for you. Or if you need help negotiating a property, I'm happy to work with you. Keep in mind, with me being so busy, I'm looking for it to be worth it on my end as well. So keep that in mind. Same thing for any other wholesaler out there. They're looking for something to get out of the deal. Okay. Whether it be just a finder's fee, whether it be something on the back end, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to do anything for free unless they get something, whether it be a fee or experience or a piece of the deal. Okay, so keep that in mind for any of you out-of-state investors. You know, the biggest thing is I'm happy to walk through for my buyers that are out of state for a property that I'm selling, or a property that I'm happy to JV with the other person. Now I'm getting a piece of the deal, and I'm trying to walk my buyer, which is you, through there. We'll get it on video. We'll get you everything that you need done. Okay, and negotiate down, do whatever we can. We'll take the feedback, and I don't want to say act as an agent because I'm not an agent. Okay, but I am a wholesaler who knows what he's doing. Okay, and I know the area. I'll give you recommendations on the area, as long as you give me feedback on what you're looking for. So Larry, if that's what you're looking for, keep me in mind. Happy to work with you. Happy, give me your criteria, and I'm happy just to try to find deals for you, because I do have a network of other wholesalers that I do work with all the time. So, and that goes for any of you buyers out there. If you are looking to buy, hit me up with your criteria. I will search properties for you and work with the other wholesaler to get that under, to get you the property. Okay. With that being said, I mean, if anybody has any other questions, hit me up. Let me know. Put them in the chat. Let me know. All right. Happy to work with you. I actually got a call today from somebody who was looking just to start. He's from Grand Rapids, and I believe his name was John. And I believe I saw him in here. Let's see here. Nope. Anyways, he had a question on, you know, how to get started, what to do, and things like that. He wants to invest, because he wants to do some wholesale deals. He wants to do some investing himself. He wants to do some gator lending, things of that nature. And he actually saw me on, not on this, but on Pace Morby's, when I went and asked him the question on his channel. So, you know, that's awesome. You know, I'm trying to network with different people. I'm happy he called me, and I will answer his question any way I can and help him out any way I can. He's over in Grand Rapids, and we'll see what we can do to help him out. All right. Just like that, we'll be able to work with anybody else. If you are in Pace Morby's group, or in Pace Morby's sub 2 group, hit me up, see if we can work something out. I'm happy to work something out with you. All right. And we can kind of go from there. So I'm just trying to get more well known. Again, I'm going to ask you guys, go over to YouTube, subscribe for me. All right. I have, let's see how many subscribers I have right now. All right. How many subscribers do I have right now? My computer's slow. I have 93. Let me show you that. 93. Awesome. We need to hit 100 before the end of the year. That's all I want. 100 before the end of the year. If we can go more, great. I'm going to be posting some more videos, some more short-term videos from when I had interviewed Todd on wholesaling. So I'm going to post those probably tonight on here. Keep an eye out. Happy to work with anybody who wants to work with me. You know, I'm just trying to get, you know, trying to tell my story and kind of go, you know, go whatever I can. So do whatever I can. And Terry said, I signed in 2 times. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. I really do. So just trying to get, you know, trying to get to 100. It's a small goal. You know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So all these small goals will add up. All right. So next year is going to be our year. We're looking for those incremental increases. I want to do 2 to 3 deals per month. If I do more, great, but I'm looking to do 2 to 3 deals per month, at least on an average. Okay. If I can do 4 or 5, that'd be awesome. But 2 to 3 is my goal, and I want to be a realistic goal. So I set it here so I can look back at this next year, and we can kind of go from there. I got my setup, and this I got from Paris when I went to Paris. Look at that. So I'm going to leave that off to the side here. That's pretty cool. So that is the Eiffel Tower. And, me and my wife went to Europe, went to Italy, and then we ended in Paris. That was awesome. So it was an awesome 2 weeks, and I was very happy to do it. Now I need to make more money so I can pay for that trip and go on more. So, Kaiser, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Oh, so it hit 95. We're at 95 right now. I just reloaded it. So I appreciate it. So anybody who has any questions about anything real estate related, we're happy to share it. We have about 10 more minutes before we're going to close up and before we're going to end this year on a good note. All right. So the good note is we're still alive. I'll tell you that right now. So anybody who doesn't think that, you need to start thinking positively. You think positively, you'll bring positive thoughts, you positive things will start happening to you. Awesome. So Larry, you got me to 96. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Let's hit this. Let's get it. Let's get it to the 100. All right. So I'm trying to post more to YouTube Shorts, trying to do more live, doing whatever we can. So if you want to know more about hiring a virtual assistant, let me know. I will put, I may do a video just on that, may even bring my virtual assistant on here. I brought her back on here, and we will do, kind of her interpretation of how I am as a boss, I guess. I've never really been in charge of people besides here. So, but I will say that your virtual assistant is only going to be as good as you train them, because keep in mind, you developed your systems. That's what you work. You develop your systems, and you work so hard to develop. Now you got to train them on your systems. Okay. So 100%, I really recommend you, before you do a virtual assistant, you do it yourself first. I cold called first myself to figure out how to do it. So, by all means, I always recommend, everyone to do it themselves first, so that if you don't do it yourself, how are you going to train somebody else to do it? Okay. That's just my opinion. I'm not sitting here saying that everyone needs to do that. You can be, if you're not good at cold calling, you can, by all means, you can not do it. And that's why you get a virtual assistant. Maybe you can pay a little bit more for a US based person who knows what they're doing and who's done it before. Okay. And what I mean by a little bit more is you're going from, say, $6 an hour or $5 an hour to like $20 an hour or $15 an hour, whatever, depending on the person that you get and the more experienced they are, the more you're going to pay. But usually the ROI will come back on you. If you're paying somebody who's for $21 an hour, more than likely they know what they're doing. Now you still have to vet them and make sure. My theory behind all of that is Hire quick, fire fast. If it's not working out, either see why it's not working out. Is it because of your system or is it because of them? If it's because of them, see if they can improve. If they're not improving, fire them. Get somebody new. Okay. And it's not being me being cruel. It's time is money. Okay. Time is money. So do whatever you can to help improve everybody out there. The virtual assistant that I work with, I've taken some chances with her, helped teach her different things. And, you know, we're working on, she does some of my video editing. She's done my cold calling, things like that. So, yeah, with that being said, anybody else have any last minute questions before we go? Hit me up in the chat and we can, you know, right now we have 7 people watching us. I know it's one of the lowest ones for in a while. 2 of them from YouTube and 5 from Facebook. So, Shaniqua said Upwork or Fiverr research VAs. I had some good experience with them. That's awesome. So that's a really good place to go. And then what you can do is you can reach out to them and look at hiring them directly if they're working for that. Okay. And what I mean by hiring them directly is not sitting there putting them on payroll, but say, hey, I'll hire you if you do this for me for X amount of dollars per, you know, either per job or per hourly base, whatever you want, you work out with them. So keep that in mind. Upwork and Fiverr, you know, they're pretty good. In my opinion, I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. So I like both of them. And so you just kind of look at the work that they're providing. Just look at the expectations. That's all. That's all I'm saying on that. So with that being said, I think we are good to go. I think it was a really good live. So we didn't have as many people, but I'm happy I answered the questions. I brought Kaiser on. We went over some comping. If anybody has any more questions when we're not live, hit them in the comments. I'll answer them later on. Or if you have any video ideas and you want me to make a video of a certain topic or anything specifically related to, say, just wholesaling or just, you know, buying rental properties or burring or anything like that, let me know. Hit me up in the comps or hit me up in the comments, and I will definitely look at recording a video. If you want to get on a call with me, I'm happy to do so, whether it be a phone call or a video chat, and we can record it and then I will post it on my YouTube channel. Okay, we'll be happy to go over anything like that, any of your goals or anything like that. If you don't want me to post it, that's perfectly fine. I'll send you the video. You can look back over it later on. With that being said, hopefully we all do some deals together. If you want to JV with me, hit me up right here. This is my number. And this is the first time I didn't have the banner scrolling. My email is right here. Email me at randybuyshousesmi@gmail.com. All right. That's my email. That's my phone number. Hopefully we can all do some deals, and we will talk later. All right. And Shaniquan, you said I'll reach out, and hopefully I didn't mispronounce your name. Sorry about that. And have a good one. Let's all do some deals together. Thank you.